The Momentum One Day Cup continues. The Cape Cobras and the Dolphins do battle on this fantastic scene. We're at Newlands and it's a lovely day, even though it is hot. There's their captain, Zubair Hamza. He leads his troops out onto the field and they'll be hoping that today, at home, they can get one over the Dolphins. It's a beautiful day. Stephen Cook alongside me. Cookie, how are you, first of all?
Good, thanks to you, Pom. Good to be out here. Wonderful day at Newlands and some good cricket on offer.
Indeed. Take us through that side. A look at the Dolphins side, and they've won the toss here and decided to bat first.
Yeah, absolutely. Dolphins playing some good cricket at the moment. Grant Roelofsen at the top of the order, been in top form, and their spinners have played a massive role. So first up here with the bat today, they'll be looking to exploit these good conditions and get a hefty score on the board today.
Yeah, decent experience in that side for sure, and it's to the experienced men generally that sides will look at, and they'll look to them to ensure that they get them over the line. Put a score on the board. First up, that's the story for the Dolphins. For the Cape Cobras, the name to look at is Rory Kleinveldt. 116 Momentum One Day Cup matches, and he's been a really good servant of the Cobras. Has had an impact as well in this side. It's apt too that they are fielding first, so he's got to try and do his damage that way and make his contribution that way.
Yeah, all eyes will be on Rory Kleinveldt today as with the ball in hand. Those skills that he's developed over the years, and on a wicket that looks good like today's one does, he'll need all of those skills. There we see Cyril Ervier, average up at 45, really good in one-day cricket, strikes it up at the top of the order. Obviously brings that left-hand, right-hand element to the Dolphins lineup, and with him Grant Roelofsen, who's scored an immense number of runs, both in four-day cricket and in one-day cricket this season, and certainly one that the Dolphins management would be really proud of how he's developed.
Johannesburg boy, you know him well, don't you? Well enough.
Yeah, went to my alma mater, King Edwards, and there we see average for the season touch under 100, so 3 scores over 50 out of the 4 innings he's played this far.
It's 4, 2 straight, just helped on its way with a fine leg glance. 13 without loss. There you go. Short enough, pulled away, and it's the short boundary. Away it goes for 6. Well struck.
Yeah, 6 runs there for Grant Roelofsen. Said that something was about to happen, and he duly obliged. Getting high underneath it, just playing to the shorter boundary this time, and getting full value for his shot there.
Oh, driven. Lovely shot by Cyril Ervier, and that one will go all the way for 4. Lovely. That is a beautiful shot by a man in form. That's 4 more.
Speaking of Morné van Wyk, he'd be pretty proud to see that as well. Another little drive through square cover. But great position. A little bit of width offered again from Dane Patterson. Just allows Roelofsen to release the hands through the line of the ball.
It's been a good tournament so far. Batsman, a lot of runs. Hamza 457, playing in his 6th game. A good average. Rickleton, Roelofsen, Malan. What's interesting though, if you look at that, Valley, Klaas and Smith, all middle order batters. The rest of them, top 3. And so the second power play, a little bit more protection now for the bowlers. And they just need a couple of overs here. The Cobra just need to get that run rate down. It's at the moment at 4.5. Just get it down to under 4 runs to the over. Create some pressure, force the batsman to try and look for something. Chance. Chance! And yes, he gets the breakthrough, the youngster. And they lose their first.
Well, you asked it, Victor. You wanted somehow to just build a bit of pressure, and you feel like Adria has just given them that opening and the opportunity. It looked like he wanted to work it through mid-wicket, and the slowness of the wicket has presented a leading edge and an easy catch to Hamza at mid-off. I was just about to say, you're going to have this challenge as a young bowling group now with the Mnyaka and then Ntini to follow. And, well, this is just the ideal start for a young bowler in his spell.
Sarel Ervi has gone for 15, 45 for 1.
As you see the entrance of Vaughan van Jaarsveld, the experienced campaigner for the Dolphins.
Experienced player playing in his 140th match. Had a good average of 36, best of 124. 47 for 1. Roelofsen is still there, 27 of 37 deliveries. A lot of options, of batting options. Mutasami, the all-rounder. Kaya Zondo, Makanya is growing as a cricketer, and then the all-rounders. Freiling, Maharaj, Subrayen. Subrayen and Maharaj had a good partnership against the Knights in their first game, 77. Oh, lovely. That is a brilliant shot. It's not a bad delivery at all from Akhona Mnyaka. He just advanced a touch and beautifully driven down the ground to end the over. 55 for 1.
Brilliant position this by Roelofsen. Is sort of sense that Mnyaka has been bowling a decent and a foolish length up to now.
Chance, he's put it down! Oh, he'll be extremely disappointed with that. It was a dolly for Thando Ntini. Never easy on the follow-through, but he would have expected to hold on to that. You can see his face, extremely disappointed.
I think he might have just got his timing wrong here. Roelofsen also getting another leading edge, just looking to push it onto the leg side and gets a leading edge. And again, I think just getting his timing wrong here with the jump. Not an easy one.
Well, it was a decent start from the Cobras opening batsman, or bowlers rather. Patterson, 0 for 28. He probably would have wanted that economy rate to be slightly down. Rory Kleinveldt, well, he bowled superbly in his first 7 overs. And a solitary wicket for Akhona Mnyaka.
Balled again. Nice quick one by Vaughan van Jaarsveld. Hits directly. They like it, the Cobras. They do like it. Just by that celebration, you would think Vaughan van Jaarsveld might be a bit short. We'll have a look. But they are in celebration already, thinking that they think they've got their man.
I'll take you back to last over. There's a big call from Roelofsen. Van Jaarsveld said no. And this time, well, the third umpire will say yes, because he's well short. There's another run out for Vaughan van Jaarsveld this season. And the Dolphins, well, they'll be disappointed to lose that.
Yeah, very good fielding. Direct hit was needed, and they got it. And they got the wicket of Vaughan van Jaarsveld. He's a long way out. And that's really good work out in the outfield. And they got their second wicket. Dolphins, 65 for 2.
Oh, some really good work from Zubair Hamza, it looks like it. The skipper leading from the front today. And that is a thing of beauty. Vaughan van Jaarsveld goes for 7. The Dolphins, 64 for 2. Senjurin Mutasami walks to the wicket. Represented South Africa in Test cricket. A very good player. And he'll look to get stuck in here. Big one! It's got him! Ntini has been probing, and he celebrates a big wicket of Grant Roelofsen.
That's a great ball. Not quite sure where Roelofsen was looking to hit that, but good catch too by Varane, diving to his right. And it's another breakthrough. That's a big wicket. A 4-man for the Dolphins. Just in the back onto him. I think he was looking to run it down to third man. And really good, comfortable catch taken by the keeper, and that's a big wicket. So the third wicket is now gone. They're losing them in clusters now. 2 new men to the boundary, to the wicket, sorry, for the Dolphins, and 70 for 3. Roelofsen gone. Thando Ntini, he's gone for 40. Yeah, and then comes in Zondo. Of course, has also represented South Africa in the short format of the game. 29 years old.
Just there on the slightly fuller side, and great balance by Zondo. Presented a full face of the bat. Very elegant straight drive past mid-on for 4. Dolphins now 79 for 3 after 22.
Makanya, Freilink, Maharaj, Subrayen. You have to find the runs from somewhere. Bowling, superb. In the rough, there were a couple of noises. He's not happy, Mutusami, but he's got to go.
Oh, we were just talking about whether the sofa is going to offer any purchase, and you can sense the disappointment from Mutusami. But turn there was, it just seems to have got through that pad. Just out of the rough. And turn there definitely was. Good take by Calverona standing up. Immediate reaction from the bowler and the keepers is that there was definitely something to that. Mutusami departs 82 for 4. The 23rd over.
Sibonelo Makanya walks out to the middle. There's a look at his career, 350s, best score of 82. Nicely played. Oh, dived over it. Did the hard work of running across, and then in the dive wasn't quick enough to get onto the ground. Gone for 4. Much needed 4.
Yeah, this is the challenge you face as a seamer now, bowling to a guy that's slightly shorter in stature. The back of the length, you want to now adjust your length to slightly fuller, but you can't afford to be at half volley.
Yeah, projected scores, you'd think that they've got to get around about 220 at the very least. It's a surface that's a bit on the slow side, yes. But they'd need every one of those 220. Oh, up in the air and down. Didn't get there.
Great effort by Pieter Malan at backward point. Dolphins would have had their odds in their mouths. Just eluded him at the last minute. He thought he had a chance.
Gone, there's something, surely. Yep, there's the finger. The finger's gone up. There was just a little look to the square leg umpire to say, has the keeper actually caught it or has it bounced short? And square leg umpire confirms, then the finger goes up.
Just seems a bit of confusion here, slowness on the wicket, and Makanya, there's a bit of a question now whether that is carried or not. That's pretty conclusive from our point of view.
Sibonelo Makanya. Gone for 2. It's 92 for 5. Robbie Freilink has walked out to the middle. 35 years old now. And his side is in trouble. Senior players out in the middle now. He's an all-rounder. Let's look at his numbers. A best of 72 in Momentum One Day Cup. I need all 72 of them. Oh, got him, has he? I wonder if he has. It was high, very high. Turned, bounced, and it was a long way to bring it back to the stumps. It's a great job by Verreynne, but is it in time?
Well, Verreynne looks pretty confident, and he's had a quiet little jog over to the umpire just to hand him the ball as if to say, I'm pretty happy with what I've done. Freiling, however, is hanging around.
Yeah, brilliant work. Yeah, I think he's got him, you know. I think he's got him. Yeah, I'll have another look at it, probably, and just have a look at a different angle. This will tell us a whole lot more. Look at that. Look at how high it ends up. And then the hands must get back at the stumps. That is absolutely brilliant by Kyle Verreynne. Brilliant.
That, we don't know much about keeping Pommy, but that just looked brilliant. Great position. And the reaction and the reflexes to be able to take that ball that bounced, almost caught it sort of a chest high, and managing to get back to the stumps quick enough. I liked about the celebration, it just hinted something towards that those little football warm-up games that you play when the guys just score a goal. It's just a quiet little jog across. Brilliant take that by Verreynne.
Worth gold, a good keeper. Freiling gone for none. It's 93 for 6. Keshav Maharaj, skipper off the Dolphins side. He walks in when they're 93 for 6. They've faced 26.5 overs. 70 for 2 became 70 for 3. Then 82 for 4, 92 for 5, 93 for 6. A procession after what could have seen as a circumspect and decent enough start, from which point they would have expected they could accelerate.
$100 comes up for the Dolphins.
Yeah, from that graphic there, we can see that Dolphins are certainly slowed, and that's as a result of the wicket. So, whereas in previous games, Roelofsen or one of the other top order batters have batted through, taken them past the 30th over, today they under a lot more pressure. It's taken 105 balls for that second 50.
Gone! He gets the outside edge and doesn't need the slip because it goes straight to Kyle Verreynne. A brilliant period this for the Cobras.
Outstanding bowling by Rory Kleinveldt, hitting his own, nibbling away just a little bit, and Verreynne does the rest behind the stumps. Little faint tip there. Not much Kaya Zondo could have done there. Kleinveldt rolling back the years, showing what he's about. He's done this for years and years at this ground, and he'll be very happy to claim another one.
Kaya Zondo, well, he's gone for 21. Dolphins now 101 for 7. Subrayen is the new man. Best of 46 not out. Decent enough average, the contributions that he makes towards the back end of the innings. Can strike the Boyle quite comfortably. So the end of the over, 105 for 7. And also the end of Rory Kleinveldt's spell. And handshakes all around from his teammates, the fans appreciating what he's done throughout the years. And it will be an emotional moment for Rory Kleinveldt. Appreciated by everybody. Really has been a true servant of the game. Those are his numbers. 148 wickets in 116 matches that he's played, and a best of 5 for 22.
Well, it's been a major problem for the Dolphins team a regular loss of wickets. Good enough start with an opening stand of 45. Sadly, since then, we've seen a regular fall of wickets. Pitch has been a little bit on the slow side. We've seen that it hasn't been easy to score boundaries. Well, 83 balls to be exact, just under an hour, 57 minutes since the last boundary. That will be concerning for the Dolphins. Projects the scores, 145 at the current run rate of 2.9. Well, 8 and over. That'll be a more than handy bonus for the Dolphins. Big shot over the top. That's a thing of beauty for Maharaj. A welcome boundary.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've been able to say that, a boundary. And they finally got one in the 43rd over. It's been over an hour and a half. It was there to be hit.
Finally got it. Had a few goals at that shot, and he's played a beauty to finish off the over. 140 for 7.
Ntini has been hurtling with that length for a bit in this over, short and wide, and he's struck one cleanly to point this time around. He pierces the gap.
Shot. Another cut shot, and another 4 from Subrayen. Just getting going. Partnership 44 from 82.
Some more width offered to Subrayen. He showed his strength in the previous over when Ntini bowled to him.
4 runs straight onto the pads and helped along with fine leg up in the circle. Couldn't afford to bowl that line. Pressure with the first over, with the first ball of the over going for 4. Bringing up 150 and the 50 partnership as well.
Just erring on line there by Mnyaka with a fine leg up in the circle.
Last 5 overs, 36 runs, so good from the Dolphins. 7 and over. There you go. Nicely done. Well controlled. It was a gift, mind you. Full toss, and it's outside off with mid-off up in the circle. And then he just pops it over for 4.
He would have sensed, just having scanned the field ahead of this delivery, with both mid-off up in the ring.
Oh, it was there. Good running. Good running. Oh, is he out? Is he out? He just ambled, I think. And he didn't think they were going to throw towards his end. It was an excellent running from Maharaj. No, if he's out, he'll be kicking himself. That's what happens. And he's standing there and he's feeling, oh, I've missed out because that's in the slot. I make sure I'm in. And then he sets off running and he thinks, well, I'll be okay. I should be okay. He's not throwing to me. And look at that. Look at that. Didn't run at all. And what started out as good presence of mind from the skipper to say, tell you what, we can nick one here, has ended up with a little bit of poor cricket at the other end and him not scampering to make his ground. And Subrayen's gone.
Yes, a very, very disappointing end that for Subrayen.
Prenelan Subrayen gone for 28. They were well constructed runs under the circumstances. Dolphins 167 for 8. Here's Daryn Dupavillon. Nicely played, thinking 2. Can't get back for a second. But Keshav Maharaj finishes on 50 not out of 77 balls. The first 50 for him in Momentum One Day Cup. As captain of the side, had to apply himself and try and get his side to a score that might well be competitive. And he's played well in getting them to 183 for 8 of their 50 overs. A look at the batting card. Won the toss, decided to bat first. a decent partnership at the start, even though it was slow. 45 they put on, Roelofsen and Ervier. And then when they were parted, things started to happen for the Cobras, who had kept things very quiet. Not too many partnerships. That was the issue. People in and then out.
Mnyaka and Ntini were quite impressive, and it allowed to Rory Kleinveldt to finish off 1 for 20 in his 10. And then Linde was also equally effective with a lot of spin and bounce, 2 for 24 in his 10 overs.
The Cape Cobras must come back and get 184 if they're to win here on their home ground. It's not great as a target, but you never know with a wicket that's spinning and bouncing a little bit as well.
Welcome back to Newlands here in Cape Town. Beautiful scenes. Always lovely to be here. Always good to see the mountain. Yeah, after halfway, Cape Cobras will need 184. Bowled brilliantly in the middle period to restrict the Dolphins to 183.
Pretty sure Robbie Frylink and Daryn Dupavillon will take that new ball and hopefully look to exploit those conditions up front.
Yeah, the two brothers to open proceedings here for the home side. It's Pieter Malan is the older brother. Not so long ago, opened the batting for South Africa in Test match against England. Very experienced player. His numbers, if you look, only played 33 games in Momentum One Day Cup, but he's got a very good average of 42, 750s and 300s. And then his brother on the other side. Pieter Malan will be very watchful. He'll hold things together. Already scored 100 in this tournament so far. While his brother on the other side, he'll be very aggressive. He'll be looking to try and put bowlers under pressure. 23-year-old was already played for the Proteas in the short format. Average of 40 and a best of 150 not out. As Robbie Frylink who will start proceedings. Janneman Malan and Pieter Malan, and then Zubair Hamza, leading run scorer so far in the Momentum One Day Cup, and the youngster Jonathan Bird, who's playing in his second game for the Cape Cobras. Bahrain had a wonderful season last year, and then the aggressive George Linde and Ngijima to still come. Oh, that's nicely played that by Pieter Malan. And they come back for 3.
Pieter Malan turns one off his hips with the Sami coming around the boundary, slips just as he's about to, and oh, he's knocked it into his own foot, and they're going to get the extra run for that. That's not what Captain Maharaj will want. They'll be saying, we need to look after every run. So not a great start there from Sami. Throws the ball back in a bit of frustration.
Goes for the Yorker. And that's 4 more for Janneman Malan.
That angle from Dupavillon, angling in towards Janneman Malan's pads, not wanting to offer up any width, and with fine leg in the circle, uses that little bit of extra pace, just tickles it round the corner. Full value for shot to that side of the ground today. Really good balance there from Malan. Head over the ball, little flick of the wrists.
Oh, and a good start that gets the outside edge. Good pace as well.
Straight into his work, finds the outside edge and falls just short of Robbie Frylink. Makes a good effort to get down to that.
Just a bit of width. They strive on of that. That's where the strength is for both these brothers. And that's 4 more for Pieter Malan.
Really waited for that one. Got his width that he's been looking for so long now. Freilich erring a fraction short. Opens the bat face and slices it off behind square. Using the square, and with that short boundary to that side, the ball races away for 4. Malan will feel a lot better after that one.
Shot. Short again and put away for 4. 35 without loss.
Yeah, just a bit short this time around by Robbie Freilich. There's a man out there, but found the gap nicely. Janneman Malan. Looks close and gone. Given. Maharaj strikes. He's been really good and threatening. And he finally gets the wicket of Pieter Malan, LBW. And they get their first breakthrough in the 9th over.
Well, it's good bowling this from Maharaj. He's got turn and he's got turn from straight. That's why they've employed the sweep at him, and starts up with one that doesn't turn as much, and importantly is right on the stumps. Makes no contact. And Malan's got to go. Pieter Malan. That's 35 for 1.
So right-hand batter Hamza recently made his debut as well for South Africa in the test format, and really good average. Almost 47, sorry. Short wide this time around. Finds the gap. I think he might have got a hand to it to slow it down. It's going to be a long chase, but it's gone all the way to the boundary. A loosener by Maharaj. We haven't seen too many of those. Short and wide and put away by a man in really good form in this version of the game.
Not quite in control as he plays that. He wants it along the ground. What's important, though, is that he gets it in the gap. Gone! There's an edge.
Yes, indeed. He gets the edge. He gets the big wicket of the man who's been in really good form this season as well, Hamza. Gone for just 4. And that's a beautiful first over. Comes down the wicket as well. Got the slip in place. That's a nice thick outside edge and a good catch by Roelofsen. Gets the breakthrough. That's 2 wickets in 2 overs now for the Dolphins. And they're right in this game.
So 4-man, Zubair Hamza, gone for 4. It's 40 for 2.
Next man in, young man, Jonathan Bird. He recently came back from playing in the World Cup, in the 19 World Cup here in South Africa. Comes in at number 4. So the mindset at some point is going to have to be to target perhaps whoever you think you can, and again, be selective, not just go after everything. Yeah, he tries, up in the air. Ooh. Gone. I thought there was going to be a mix-up for a second. Maharaj looked like he was going to go for it, but in the end, it was taken. Malan looking to have a go and be positive. It's a straight up and a very good catch by Erwin in the end. And the danger man at top, Maharaj, gets him.
Against the spin. It's not so much the spin that gets him, no, it bounces just a little bit as he tries to go across and go at the shorter boundary. Up in the air a long time. Bowler thought of going for it himself, but mid-on can come in at it. And in the end, it's a grasp at the mouth because it could have ended badly. It hasn't, though. Janneman Malan's gone for 24, and the Cobras are struggling at 47 for 3. 47 for 3, the Cobras, and in comes Kyle Verreyn. Their score in Momentum One Day Cup is 140, not out. And another. 2-2 for Keshav Maharaj and the Dolphins. Simple chance.
On a hat-trick. 2 in a row. Some really good bowling, very good captaincy. He decided when he saw Bird was uncomfortable to put a short leg in there. That's very good captaincy, very good bowling. And the Dolphins are on a roll.
So the youngster has gone. And the Cobras reeling. 47 for 4 now. And Maharaj is on a hat-trick. No reinforcements and close-in fielders. Still short leg and slip. A man at square leg behind square. On that leg side, man at mid-wicket as well. On a hat-trick. Yeah, kept out. Oohs, ahs everywhere. Out in the middle. Expected no less.
Well bowled, well bowled. Was there a bit of a tickle on that?
Yeah, Maharaj seems to have thrived with the responsibility of captaincy. Shown it today and played a real captain's knock. We know what he's all about when it comes to bowling, and on the surface today, he's going to be a whole handful.
Another streaky shot. It's going to run away for 4. Welcome boundary for the Cobras. That's the end of the 18th over. The Cobras 60 for 4.
A bit of fortune for Varane in both occasions in this over. Early on, saw the edge that only went for 3 this time around, and again another attempted cut which is just gone past slip. The pace it just and allow the backward point to save it.
Well, that's the wagon wheel at the moment. Score's pretty close. It's the worm, I beg your pardon. Well bowled, well bowled. The Dolphins are excited. Roelofsen, oh, he looks convinced. He's been sent upstairs. Oh, Linde's already walking. He's not even going to wait for it.
Yeah, so Brian has been sort of teasing Linde with a few arm balls, a few sliders, and this one to really grip and turn. No problem with the front foot. But this is what we're looking at right here. Great take by Roelofsen. That looks pretty conclusive.
Oh, he's walking because he knows he never really got back at all. He was at full stretch there, George Linde, and it was murder she wrote.
Now I'm using the facility, man.
It's really well bowled there from Subrayen. Just slowed it up quite nicely, made him come forward to it, and that probably did the trick there.
Yeah, just with the use of the flight and the pace as well. Been happy to throw it up. What has been tough and challenging is every now and then just skids on with the arm with that same trajectory. This time around, Linde departs then for 2. The Cobras are now 60 for 5 in the 19th over.
Avuam Gijima, he strolls out to the middle with his team in trouble. 60 for 5 the Cobras are at the moment, and he's got an important hand to play for his team. That's a good shot from Gijima behind square. It goes away for 4. Well, that's one way to approach it.
Yeah, good option by Gijima. He knows it's turning. It's going to be tough to score down the ground. Yes, they've got the man at short square. They've got the guy at 45 inside the ring, and then the deep square. So sweep is going to be choice of option now.
That is the betting card for the Cape Cobras. And it all started quite nicely with the 2 openers. But that middle order, Keshav Maharaj, the chief destroyer, once again for the Dolphins.
Seemed pretty steady there with the two Malan brothers. Started off quite nicely, but then as Maharaj has got into the game, he made immediate impact. And then that dismissal of Hamza as well by Kele, which was a massive part of the game as well.
That's neatly played by Calverain. A lot of work to be done here by Kele. And they come back for 3 more.
Yeah, it's trial by spin at the moment here at Newlands this evening. Wicket playing a lot slower and taking a lot of turn. Calverain there, using what little pace there is, using a nice little flick of the wrist at the end. And Thele hauls it in just before the boundary ropes and saves that 1 run.
The Dolphins early on won the toss and elected to bat first. Were restricted to 183. In trouble though, thanks to the captain Maharaj, who got 15 not out. Linde good with the ball. And at the moment, well, they're in trouble, the Cape Cobras. Beautiful shot. It just strays a touch, even though it's a big boundary. He's been busy, Dupavillon, but unfortunately this time hasn't managed to stop the boundary.
Excellent balance from Avim Gajima. Thele comes in towards his pads, picks it off there, and the ball has the legs to make it its way for 4. Dupavillon been doing excellent work, as Vic mentioned, but this one's just got enough energy, goes across the manicured Newlands turf for 4.
And because of the partnership, bowlers start feeling edgy. They feel that they need to try and get wickets.
Yeah, main man Maharaj, 3 for 19 from 7 overs. Look at the number of dot balls as well, 33 dot balls. So good work done by him. Generally, as a collective, they'll feel that they've done some decent work, and at the start it was good. There you go! There you go, that's the breakthrough. It's a good catch by Kayazondo, who was in at short cover. Still might be on.
It was just about to say that the fact that he brought both mid-on and mid-off up in the ring and enticing and asking Rain to try and go over the top. And he's done him in the flight. Oh, what a massive wicket. As they've asked the captain to come back, and he's felt that he's had to make the change, and boy, has he done it. Well done by Kayazondo. Good catch low down on the ground. Rainer departs for a well-played 25. Now Cobras 108 for 6 in the 30th.
Rory Kleinveldt, 54 not out, her best score in the Momentum One Day Cup. Would be a nice way to sign off.
As you look at the comparative scores, as we mentioned, not a lot to pick from, just a few runs in difference. I think a guy like Dupavillon is just happy to be playing some cricket and get a lot of overs under his belt.
Straight up in the air, keeper's catch taken. There you go. Dupavillon with the wicket. It's still on, big time.
Well, that's exactly what we just spoke about. Just what Dupavillon would have wanted. Dropped it short. On any given day, Kleinveldt would have fancied it this time around. He gets a top edge and safe catch there by Roelofsen. As we see the departure of the big show for one final time at the Newlands. As we see the final goodbyes to Rory Kleinveldt. Well done, Ro. It's been a pleasure to watch you play, and I'm sure a lot of people get to see the benefit of him, maybe as a coach going forward, but not to be the ending that he wanted today. Departs for 2. Cobras 113 for 7.
out and gone. Dupavillon on a roll here for the Dolphins.
Change of angle has done it here for Dupavillon. He's come around the wicket to the new batter, Ntini. He's bowled it in a good length and managed to find the edge. I must say, I was a bit perplexed at the fact that Ntini came ahead of a guy like Dane Patterson. Anyway, just that change of angle and managed to just leave the batter at the last minute. And Dupavillon now has his second. Ntini departs without troubling scorers. The Cobras now 114 for 8 in the 33rd.
Dane Patterson is in. Not too long ago, he'd have felt quite comfortable in his chair in the change room. He was watching his side, just having weathered the storm and going along nicely. That'll help, it'll help a lot. Naviram Gijima playing nicely here for the Cobras. Is into the 40s.
Just a bit of width on offer here by Dupavillon, just allowing Gijima to throw his hands at it. And with the pace on the ball, it was always going to beat the third man. He has shown some form of application this evening. And
oh, yes, he's got him. Lovely delivery that by Mutasamy.
Yeah, that's really well bowled. Didn't really turn that much, did it? But it went straight on. Stays leg side of it, Patterson. Straight to the safe hands of Robbie Fryling. 9 down the Cobras. It's a very comfortable catch. And another one is gone. So 126 for 9. Patterson gone for 5. The youngster, Mnyaka, did a really good job with the ball today, I felt. Just 20 years old.
Oh, lovely played. Lovely shot there. Just a flick to the leg side to get his first boundary in Momentum One Day Cup.
Not only that, 136 now, just 10 runs away from preventing the Dolphins from getting a bonus point. 2 more balls left in the over. I won't take any runs now, unless it's either 2s or 4s. Run rate of just 4 runs and over the run rate, and they're going for 2 here. Set off early. Good running, good calling, good running, and that's Kijima's 50 as well. He's fought hard and has got some sort of reward for it. And the crowd does appreciate the work he's put in to get to 50.
Yeah, it's his 7th career 50. Gijima and his 5th in Momentum One Day Cup. He's hit that to the leg side. It's a chance. No, he sails over his head. And a wonderful way to start the over by Gijima.
That's nice and positive. It's a wonderful shot. Short to boundary as well. On 145 now. Possible? Yes, I think it's impossible, as I said. Still unlikely, though. Certainly still have the Dolphins as the favorite.
It goes again. It's a little bit flatter this time. And the goal, no! Oh, he's put him down.
Not sure it was a smartest decision there by Kajima. There's a man out there, obviously not looking to find him. He's looking to go over mid-on, I think. Just not getting the timing right, and ooh, actually should have been taking that. Gets both hands, his feet are set almost. And,
oh, he's got him! eventually they get the final wicket. And it's the pace of the Pavilion.
Yeah, as I was saying, didn't think the Yorker was a good idea, but eventually he gets it right. Right in the block hole, good pace. And the Cobras were starting to make the Dolphins nervous, but eventually they get there.
Some starts for Janneman Malan and his brother, 14. And then 25 for Calverain. Just ran out of partners. Mgijima, 69 of 86 deliveries. And they got bowled out for 157. Needed to bowl well to defend 183. The Dolphins, Freilink, not for 31. He's just steady. The Pavilion picked up 3 wickets in the middle, but the captain, outstanding. 4 for 24 he picked up, and good contributions from the rest of the bowling attack. Well, the match summary, the Dolphins having won the toss and electing to bat first. They got 183. In trouble in the middle part though. Maharaj 50 not out. Contributions there by Roelofsen, who got 40 top of the order. Bowling from Linde, 2 for 24. Kleinveldt 1 for 20, and Ntini 1 for 40. 157 is what the Cobras got. Mgijima was brilliant for 269, but just ran out of partners. Another man in the right-hand column was the captain, 4 for 24. The Pavilion with extra bit of pace, and Subrayen, who only bowled 4 overs, picked up 1 for 12, which means the Dolphins win by 26 runs.